So who's going to introduce? Okay.
That was bad.
Oh, thank you. I put on the boots. My wife's like, what are you doing? I was like, it's cold out here.
It's cold.
How are you, Senator?
But you take front and center. That way your chattering teeth don't show my
Come on
chattering
up here.
teeth.
Well, thank you everybody for being here today, especially given the weather. We appreciate everyone's willingness to come out here to announce really an exciting partnership between the Marion County Prosecutor's Office as well as our friends in the advertising industry and of course our good friends on the council, Duke Oliver and Zach Adamson. We are very proud to be in Duke Oliver and Senator Senator Bro's district. Yeah, here in Indianapolis. And really just wanted to share a few words about how all of this started. So I actually attended a community discussion that was led by young people, and actually Miss Brown, where'd she go? Oh, there she is. And she talked about the fact how adults need to do a better job of listening to kids. And they needed to do a better job of listening to young people when it comes to the topic of violence, and that if we empowered young people and gave young people a voice, it would put us in a better position than we otherwise would be in. And I accepted what she had to say, and I agreed with her. We do need to do a better job of giving young people an opportunity. And one of the things that I learned going through this process is when you give young people that opportunity, when you give young people that hope, when you empower young people, it can produce incredible results. And one of the things that we are seeing in our community right now is there's very much this fear factor where everybody wants to try to scare people with fear. But you can combat that message if you come in with hope and opportunity and empowering young people, which is exactly what we did on this project. And so as we were tossing around ideas of what we could do to partner up with young people, we had a great conversation with Counselor Zach Adamson, who told us about an idea that he had involving his friends in the advertising industry with the billboard company, who wanted to put out messages about violence in our community and what we could do to deal with this epidemic of violence. And so we really married up the two ideas of let's empower these young people, let's have them create the advertisements, let's have them create the messages. And thanks to this partnership, there's going to be 25 billboards all around town, all around our city, that are going to have two distinct messages that were created by our young people right here from Voices. And those two messages are what is actually behind the violence, and it highlights the root causes that lead to violence, including trauma, poverty, and lack of support. And then the second message is we are powerful, beautiful, family, and human. And it encourages positivity, leadership, and unity within the Indianapolis community. All messages that we can get behind, but most importantly, all messages created by young people who truly understand the challenges that they face in our community here today. And so with that, I want to turn it over to Counselor Adamson and have him share a few words.
Thanks, Ryan. Good afternoon, and hope everybody wore their gloves and hats today. Thanks everybody for being here today. It's a very exciting event here. Special thanks to Bill Platko with Reagan Outdoor, Brandon Randall, his team from Voices, and Prosecutor Mears and his team. There's a very special synchronicity in the unveiling of these billboards in the week that began with Dr. Martin Luther King's holiday. It was Dr. King, after all, who in his speech accepting the Nobel Peace Prize counted peace as more precious than diamonds or silver or gold, and described nonviolence as the only weapon that ennobles the man who wields it. It was Dr. King who once warned us that the question is no longer between violence and nonviolence. It is between nonviolence and non-existence. And I wonder if those are the reasons Dr. King viewed that choice in such stark terms, is because that he could see the way violence impacts every member of our community, from kindergartners to senior citizens, from members of gangs to members of law enforcement, and from small business owners to giant corporations like FedEx. Violence impacts us all. And the only positive thing about that, I believe, is that because it impacts us all, we can all impact violence. Take, for example, myself. I'm a hairdresser who just happens to be on the city council. One day not long ago, I was talking as a hairdresser and as a city councilor with one of my clients about the heartbreaking violence in our city today. That client just happened to work for a billboard company, and that billboard company wanted to do something to help. And I was able to connect that billboard company with our Marion County Prosecutor. And the Marion County Prosecutor just happened to had a connection with Brandon Randall and the young people at Voices. And those young people just happened to have a powerful, passionate message to share about violence in their community. If only they had a highly visible means of sharing that message, like, say, I don't know, just off the top of my head, a billboard. or maybe even like 25 billboards for the very low price of donated by Reagan Outdoors. For the 2022 MLK holiday, the King Center in Atlanta chose as their theme, "It Starts With Me." And that theme issues a challenge to every one of us to consider what actions we can take as individuals to collectively work toward a just and equitable community. I am proud to say that this group of partners unwittingly lived out that 2022 theme by recognizing that each of us had something to offer in the shared work to reduce violence in our city and stepping forward to take action together. I look forward to seeing the messages on these billboards throughout Indianapolis and hope that every person sees what the message that these young people had to offer and sharing, and then will remind themselves that it does indeed start with me. So thank you all for being here today. I want to introduce now a friend and client and the executive with the billboard company, Reagan Outdoor, Bill Placco.
Thank you. Thank you, Zach. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Councilor Adamson, Prosecutor Mears, and the Voices organization for choosing Reagan Outdoor as their platform to launch this very important and timely message. I would also like to thank the young women from Voices who have designed this very powerful message. As a leading out-of-home provider in the Indianapolis market, we believe strongly in giving back and supporting the communities in which we operate. If these 25 billboards positioned throughout the market can start a conversation about compassion, love, and unity, we have succeeded in taking the first steps of providing a safer and more accepting community. Thank you very much.
And since you're in charge of the billboard, I'll let you unveil it for us.
Let's let the girls do it. All right. Where are they at? Oh, there's a guy too. All right, I'm sorry. All right. Go ahead, give the thumbs up. Go ahead.
Good work.
Nice.
They look pretty good up there.
Yeah.
And
It'll look good across the entire city.
yes. And so with these tremendous messages of positivity, I think it's important to introduce the team at Voices, Brandon Randall, who helped us through this process. But I want to turn it over to the real stars, the creative talent here, who created these billboards, who created these messages. Destiny, Shanice, Renelle, if you guys want to come up here and share a few words about the experience.
Hi everyone, I'm Shanice Brown, and I'm very excited. They look very good up there. Love the color scheme. I I just want to say, what I want everybody to take from these billboards is a peace of mind, necessarily. Like, I just want them to see it and start thinking about, you know, like, what's really behind the violence, that we're human. I want people to express to their kids and their neighbors, their family, their friends, and have a discussion just about what these billboards actually mean. Why were they put up? Why should we pay attention to them? Why it's important to care about us and our community and what's happening right now. And that's really all I ask for. And I also ask for action and less words, because you can care but not do anything and the same results happen. But if you care and you take action towards what you care about, you know, the result will be 100 times better. Everybody will be more happier and fulfilled in life. We would have less kids dying. You know, we will have less families crying. Everybody will be filled with more joy, and the creative talent will be spread around the world. So I just ask that people take this in a peace of mind. You know, take this into mind, take this into consideration, and have an open, honest conversation about it, and then start taking action. Whatever action, and the action might be a phone call, you know, talking to somebody. Those are the actions. We just ask that these actions end up supporting us and helping us and improving it. That's all. Yes, actually, I used to live in New York, and then I used to live in a very violent neighborhood. My family members, I experienced someone getting shot. You know, I had my stepfather actually killed somebody. But I realized that even though I was around a lot of violence, I was also around people who are changing, you know, people who need help. So, of course, I was impacted, but I was also inspired. You know, I just want to touch the hearts of the people in the community and turn them from blue to red again.
Can you say your name?
I do. Shanice Brown, SHANEICEBROWN. Thank you.
Could you tell us your age, too?
Oh, I'm 17.
Do I start with my name
Yeah,
first?
start with your name.
Okay. Destiny Hatcher. It was an honor to work on the billboard, just because working with the prosecutor's office, they made us feel like our voices were important, that we were heard. And so being able to give back to the community just by a simple billboard, it's more than a billboard when you drive down the street and you get to see like the hard work that was put on. And then with the prosecutor's office having the reputation that they have, the simple fact that they took the time to listen to the youth, it really made a difference. So it was an honor.
Could you spell your last name for us?
Yes, HATCHER.
Okay. And then what's your age?
21. Thank you.
All right. My name is Ronell Collins. I would just like to say I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. I feel like it's a step in a good direction, and I feel like it's to bring more attention to the problem, which is violence, and hopefully when people ride pod, they'll just get the idea in mind to want to help somebody else, to want to spread the word, and, you know, just want to make a little piece of the world better, because even if it's just a couple of little pieces, it still adds to the bigger picture.
Could you spell your first and last name, too?
Yes, sir. RONNELLE, Collins, COLLINS. 17.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm really just here to celebrate this collaboration, highlight the 4 young people who participated in this project, Ronell, Shanice, Destiny, and then Bodler St. Louis, who is currently at work. But the messages that are being sent are what we need to hear. You know, the goal behind the root causes was to hopefully promote a message of having people be less judgmental and a little bit more educated and understand why violence happens. And then the affirmation billboard is for people to understand that even if you live in a community that is experiencing violence, you are great, you are amazing, and you are still contributing amazing impact to your community every day. And a lot of times we don't hear that message enough, and so we really are just here to reiterate that. So on behalf of Voices, I'm proud to represent that organization, and I want to thank Reagan Marketing, the Prosecutor's Office, Counselor Adamson, and one more time for these amazing young people. Thank you. And it's Brandon Randall, Brandon Randall. And I'm 38.
Yeah, I'm William Oliver, City Councilor in the 9th District here, where we stand, and I'm just thrilled with what's going on happening here today. The message up on the billboard up there is something that we're going to show all over town, that we can point to as drivers drive by. They can point to that as they're walking on their bicycles or whatever they're doing, jogging. They can look at those billboards as a message to all of us, to all of them, that what's going on in our country, in our society, oftentimes that it cannot be explained. Things just happen. Just breaking news. Y'all know all about breaking news. Well, those billboards are a reflection of behavior that we want to bring to arrest, slow it down, and get back on the right track. And that billboard gives the message out to the community. And I want to thank the prosecutor, Zach, and all the stakeholders, and those that partner with the city and the rest of us, and get those billboards out there, that positive message about behavior. Thank you very much, Mr. Prosecutor. Thank you very much.
Well, once again, thank you to Reagan. We appreciate all of their efforts on this, our council friends, our senator, Voices, everybody for being involved. Does anybody have any questions for anybody? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
How long can we expect to see these messages?
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
And are they spread out across the city?
Spread out throughout the city.
Yes.
25 spread out throughout the community.
They're all up right now?
They'll be up first thing tomorrow morning.
How important is this just to have these messages?
Well, I think it's important that, number one, where does the message come from? And it comes directly from the community. And this is a community-driven message about this issue of violence and also about why we are experiencing violence. And so we're hopeful that this will drive an intelligent, substantive conversation about the challenges that we're facing. But again, it also starts with that ability to listen to people, listening to our young people who have great ideas and providing them with a platform that will hopefully allow us to have substantive discussions and conversations about what we can do to make our community a better place.
I can also say too, I think when you see these billboards, I think a lot of times people have the idea that the violence that is happening is somehow we're disconnected from that. We don't have any control over it. It's just something that happens, and it's so far beyond our control. And I think the message here also sort of speaks to the fact that it is within our control. This doesn't have to be like this, and there are contributing factors, and there are realities that we may not have taken into consideration. I think prompts everybody to maybe step up and take a role in ending this cycle out of violence in our city.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, worked out great. Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Great.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.